Hi again, everybody, and welcome to Inside Golf. I'm Harry Donahue. Today at Lulu Country Club, which is in Upper Dublin Township of Montgomery County, right next to Lime Kiln Pike. Lulu suffered a fire about a year and a half ago. It destroyed the clubhouse, but now they are in a rebuilding mode. And coming up, we'll take a look at the progress they're making, not just with the construction, but with membership. We'll talk to John Rusk, he's the head pro, and we'll also get a teaching lesson from Mike Dinda. Mike will take us out to a charming little par 3. It's number 4 on the front 9 here at Lulu, and it is some hole. Remember, this was a Donald Ross designed golf course, opened more than 100 years ago, and now there's a new era of golf at the new Lulu Country Club, and Inside Golf is going to take a look. So stay with us. We're at Lulu, and we're back in a moment on Inside Golf. Inside Golf, now celebrating its 20th season, is presented by Destination Montco Golf. 54 courses, 300,000 yards. Check them out at montcogolf.com. By the First Tee of Philadelphia. The First Tee helps young men and women become better golfers, but most important, better people. Get involved. Visit thefirstteephiladelphia.org. By the Golf Association of Philadelphia, GAP, celebrating amateur golf since 1897. By Jersey Man Magazine, it's a Jersey way of life. And by Philly Man Magazine, bringing it to Broad Street. And by Inside Golf's partner since 1998, the Philadelphia Section PGA, experts in the game and business of golf. Take time to thank your local PGA golf professional.
Along with being stewards of the game of golf, your local PGA professional wears many hats.
We are teachers.
We are players.
We are managers.
We are merchandisers.
And community leaders.
But we all wear one badge.
PGA professionals are well-trained experts who work hard to share the joy of golf with our neighbors for over 90 years. To find your local PGA professional, visit phillypga.com. Brought to you by the Philadelphia Section of the PGA.
We are the experts in the game and business of golf.
Welcome back to Inside Golf. We're at Lulu Country Club, and you know, when you look at that flagpole and the area around it, it reminds me of the old Frank Sinatra song, you know, there used to be a ballpark here in Brooklyn. Well, Ebbets Field went down. Now Lulu's old clubhouse down because of a fire. We're with John Rusk, club professional. Good to be back here, John.
Thanks for
and talk about the rebirth of Lulu Country Club. What's going to be here where there used to be this putting green and beyond, where now we just have excavation equipment and a lot of dirt?
We're excited. We're going to have a state-of-the-art facility. We're going to have a 2-story clubhouse. It's going to have simulators. It's going to have a deck that wraps around the whole clubhouse. It's going to have a cigar room for the boys when football season's on. So we're excited.
So where we are basically will be the main entrance.
Yes, sir.
Overlooking the 18th green, and then that spectacular new clubhouse. You're going to have a cart barn, but it's going to be under.
It's going to be underground. All the carts will be underground. You know, the pro shop was down there. It's being moved over here. So it's in the same footprint, but a lot of things have been moved around. It's totally different ideas.
Unbelievable.
So, yeah.
You talk about the simulators. They're going to be open 12 months of the year.
12 months a year. You're going to February when there's snow on the ground. People are going to be calling, hey, can we get out to Lulu? Come on out. Have a beer and a play around the golf.
And the artificial putting surface.
Yeah, we're going to have an
Same
artificial
deal.
green, about 1,200 square foot artificial putting green, so guys can work on their game in the winter.
That'll be a real 19th hole.
That'll be a real 19th. We're all about golf here. That's what we're focused on, and that's what the clubhouse is going to be.
You know, John, it was about, a year and a half ago, in the fall of 2015, when the fire decimated, most of the clubhouse went down. And trying to get this thing going has been a process. But now finally, I guess you can see light at the end of the tunnel, right?
It was an unfortunate event, but for the long-term health of Lulu, it worked out well. People were joining left and right. They want that new clubhouse that's going to be all about golf. None of the nonsense, so they're ready to go.
So what about play? I mean, I know you're open to play with the public, right? On a limited basis.
On a limited basis. We're open. We allow non-members to come out 7 times a year. What that does for us, it helps with a couple reasons. It helps with revenue, and it also helps us get new members. I'd say 70% of our members came from that program. We do 25,000 rounds a year. Only 10% of our rounds are from the outside play. So it really helps us get new members in the door.
This is a Donald Ross design.
It
So,
is,
I mean,
yep.
going back, what year did it all begin?
1912.
1912.
Yep.
So a little over 100 years, and the golf course is still, I guess, the main
It's still
attraction,
original,
right?
original design. You'll see it later when you're out there with Mike Dinder, our new teaching professional. Still original design. We've added some new tee boxes in the last 6 months just to lengthen it out, because we're going to focus on trying to have a Philadelphia championship here in the next couple years. So.
Wow, that's pretty exciting stuff. Talk about, again, getting back to members, and also you have different programs for membership here?
We do. We have our membership started at $187 a month. You tell me where you can get a Donna Ross golf course for that price, and maybe I'll join.
That's right.
So we're excited. Like I said, we've added over 100 new members in the last 18 months. So our members have been very patient with us. So they're going to get what they deserve. They're going to get a beautiful new clubhouse for having to deal with the situation down there the last 12 months. So
a lot of changes, folks, and we've been kind of chronicling it for you since a year and a half ago on the fire, but we're back here and we finally see the dirt is being moved.
It's moving.
Next time we're here, I want to see a big clubhouse. Huh?
We're gonna have you out here host a show with the new clubhouse.
Maybe New Year's Eve party.
That's it.
With John Ruskin, yours truly, right here at the brand new Lulu. Now, Mike Dunder's going to take me out, and we're going to play one of my favorite holes here. You know, little par threes sometimes don't get the attention I think they deserve. Do you agree with something
I think it's
like
one
that?
of the.
You have a charmer here.
For only 100 yards, the fourth hole is only 100 yards. It's all you're going to get for 100 yards.
Right.
If you miss that green, you're making a 5 or 6.
You got that little ravine down there.
You're going to see it. Yeah.
Too much club, not enough, somewhere in between, right? It depends on a lot
I always
of
bring an
things.
extra ball up to the tee just in case I miss the green.
Smart guy.
Yeah.
This guy knows what he's doing. All right, John, thanks very
you.
much. And we'll be back to wrap it up with you a little bit later on. But stay with us. We're going to see one of the most, shall I say, charming par threes in the Philadelphia area, right here at Lulu. Back in a moment on Inside Golf. You don't want to be on that hill.
Success requires hard work. No way around it. Realize timing is key. Be willing to push yourself. Stay in control. Trust technology to support you. My father once said, "Doesn't matter what you do in life, just be the best at it."
Welcome back to Inside Golf. We're at Lulu Country Club. This is Mike Dinder. As promised, Mike, good to see you again.
See you, Harry. Good morning.
All right, Mike, teaching pro here at Lulu. And, you know, I kind of teased this little segment with you, Mike, by talking to John about how, you know, sometimes when you talk about good holes, what are overlooked sometimes are good par threes. And I think this is a classic here at Lulu. Number 4.
Yep.
It doesn't have a lot of length.
No.
But it has, if you don't hit it far enough, a nice little ravine. You don't want to be on that hill. You can go over. Limekiln Pike's back there.
Yes, it is.
You don't want to be back there, and left and right speaks for itself.
Yep.
And now you got a little wind.
Little wind against this morning.
So what are we going to do? How are you going to play this?
The average golfer will be sort of intimidated by the ravine, but hopefully they're coached properly to just see the flagstick and focus on their distance. But
The other thing about this green, once you're on the surface, it's probably the flattest surface, not only here at Lulu, but in Montgomery County, right?
I think Donald Ross's brother put this green in because it does not match the rest of the Ross greens.
No, there's no undulation, and like we say, sometimes if you're looking at it, if you don't have your device to measure the exact distance, you say, well, where's that pin? You know, now you're looking at it without a device, but you played here often enough.
Yeah.
Well, that's sort of in the front third.
It's got to be a little bit towards the front, yeah, with the yardage being around 89, 90 yards, yes.
Okay, and depth-wise, front to back on this
28
green?
yards.
Okay, 28 yards.
For a 100-yard shot, you should be able to keep it within that 28 yards.
Absolutely.
It's really a neat hole.
So what do you got, a little gap wedge, Mike?
Got a gap wedge, Harry. A little breeze against, pin being up front. If I can get it 5 yards past, I'll be pretty happy.
Okay, anywhere within 2 or 3 feet would be really nice.
That would be great.
That'd be great, especially on TV, all your friends watching.
And I can make that putt.
I've seen that.
Oh, thin, but it'll be pretty on TV.
Come on down, ball.
All right, a
Well,
little deep. As I
okay.
thought,
Not
as I thought,
bad.
but
All right, Mike, you're a little above the hole here. What do you think? About 18, 19 feet?
in distance, probably 21.
21,
Yeah,
okay.
I think the wind stopped on us a little bit there, but
Now, we talked how flat this surface is. This looks like it may be going a little downhill.
yeah, I mean, when I stand here, this is the aim-point green reading system that some of the viewers might ask about. I feel a little bit in my toes and a little bit to the left, so I'm going to go to the midpoint, and I kind of confirm that same feeling. So it's about, with my experience, it's about 1% downhill slanting this way.
Okay. All right, make it happen. And we'll get into that 8-point stuff. I'm going to find a little more about how you and Adam Scott are big proponents of that.
You're going to ask a lot more when you see this first part of
I'm
the
going to tend
video.
this for you, all right?
Yep, thank you.
Try to get in the red figures here.
Oh, I tugged it.
You know, I got to give you that.
Why? Because I'm supposed to be a putting
Because I
expert?
know you can make it, that's why.
This will be in honor of Mr. Palmer.
Right in the back of the cup. All right, now, we talked about the 8-point putting stroke or system.
Green reading system, yes.
Green reading system. What's that all about?
Well, when you see it on TV, and this is really a odd green to try it on because it's very flat. This does not fit the character or the other greens in the course, but it's basically using your feet, and I'll give it to you real quick here. Let's go over here. There's a little bit of slope. So if you were to stand here and face this direction, can you feel that you're slanting a little bit to the
So
right?
if one foot is higher than the other.
Correct.
Okay. So it's all in the feet.
All in the feet.
Okay.
Not using your eyes because that can be deceiving. The
Now,
fingers.
sometimes you go to the fingers.
Yes.
Okay.
All right, so
that's all part of it too.
correct. So if I'm here and I feel a 1% this way, once I've calibrated the student, they'll hold up one finger off the center of the cup and aim. If this was a 4% slant, I would hold up 4 fingers.
Okay. And where do you put the fingers in relation to the flagstick?
Yeah, in this scenario, let's call it a 2.
Right. So you put 2 fingers.
Yep.
Together.
Put this on the center of the hole and see how far out this is aiming. Now at Augusta, you saw them with their arms this close. They're calibrating for the stimp meter, which is a lot. You know, that was 12. These might be 12 today, so I'm probably gonna have to go
So
here.
this, okay, normally it's just for the break and then
Yep.
closer for the
for the
break
friction
and the stem.
for the friction on the greens.
Wow.
So there's not a
And
lot of friction here today. So
now-
they're pretty quick.
You teach this regularly to your students?
Yeah. I'm the Philadelphia area's only level 3 certified instructor,
Really?
and I've been teaching it to touring pros, club pros, 30 handicappers. They love it.
With success.
Yeah, it's green reading made easy, but just by using your feet.
How about that? Okay, so pick another spot out here and just take us through the whole drill.
All right, let's see if we can find a little bit of slope. We should probably go to 3 here, but. So the most slope in theory is going to be at a 90-degree angle across whatever tilt there is. So this green is only,
Yeah, minimal.
right, so that's it. I'm done reading my putt.
What did you read?
I
What's
got
your
1 and
feet
a
tell
half.
you?
I got
1.5%?
Yep.
So now what do you do with 1.5 fingers?
Your pinky.
Oh,
Look at it.
okay.
It's not as fat as your other fingers.
There you go.
So I'm going to go 1.5. I got it right about at your shoe.
Okay.
So I would mark, boom, and if I wasn't discussing that, a typical,
So you're coming in somewhere here.
yep, a good aim-point green reader can read a putt in 15, 20 seconds.
I was going to say, how does that influence, time of play? But you're saying once you get used to
The
it.
naysayers say it slows it down. I'll contend it speeds it up because if I'm the 4th guy to putt, I'm usually done with my read before the first 3 have putted.
Does this eliminate having to go back behind the hole
It
too?
saves me going behind the hole.
Okay.
It saves me bending down, hurts my back. Just using your feet. It saves so much time and so much body issues.
So it's all feet and fingers.
Your feet, no, you're designed when you walk, your eyes will always stay parallel to the horizon.
Right.
And your hips rise up and down. So it's just getting a knowledge for what you feel in your feet. And it's something that people can train every day because we're always on our feet.
All right.
You know?
All you got to do now is make it.
All you got to do now is stay upright. A little too hard, but the read is good.
Oh, burnt that edge again.
Aim point speed is designed to go maybe 1 shoe past. and that went about 2 shoes past.
So you'd even use it here?
No, what I'm saying is the
Oh,
pace.
I see, on the pace.
Had that pace been slower, the ball might have crept in.
Right, absolutely. And that's the other thing. Do you use it on, what's the minimal amount of distance for a putt to use?
If I have to putt out,
Pace.
I'm using it.
Okay,
It's everywhere.
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 How about it?
Yeah.
That's
Your
great.
ball's always traveling across some terrain, so you must have an idea of what that terrain is.
You know, we learned a lot here today, not just about this 4th hole. The other thing about the 4th hole, its position in the golf course. You got the #1 handicap, the 3rd hole,
Yep.
downhill, par 4, lengthy par 4, a lot of terrain unlike, contour unlike this green.
Yep.
And then you have another great hole, uphill par 4, number 5. So, you know, this is, as much as we say this hole can be a bit of a problem, it's really a relief compared to those two.
You better
par
make some. You
fours.
better make some hay here because 3 is pretty tough. 5, 6, 7. So this hole is a nice little respite, although it's deceiving. But it's a little breather in between 3 beauties coming up and one pretty difficult hole we just played prior.
Right. Don't take anything for granted.
Not in golf.
Here at Lulu. Mike Dinda.
Thanks, buddy.
Good seeing you again.
Always.
This is the guy. You need a lesson right here at Lulu. Mike Dinda. He is the golf coach at Lulu Country
And you
Club.
can get everything at dindagolf.com.
We'll be back. More coming up from Lulu here on Inside Golf. And we welcome you back. Inside Golf continues now at our teed off panel today. We're at the Valley Forge Casino Resort. We're outside. We're at the beautiful Valley Beach here at the Valley Forge Casino Hotel and Resort and the Radisson Hotel. You know, Valley Beach is a spot you'll want to come several times this summer. Live entertainment Thursday through Sunday. They're even going to have a taco truck. It's going to be right here behind us on the pool deck, serving up some great food, street tacos, you name it, right here at Valley Beach this summer. Our panel today from myphillygolf.com, Mr. Joe Logan is back with us. Bob Shepard, PGA professional for years in the Philadelphia area, author his book, the latest one, The Dormy House, which is a series of short stories about golf. And from the Union League at Tarsdale, the big macho guy there, the golf pro, Sean Palmer. I had to say that. You're the tallest guy here on the panel, Sean.
Pool right now.
Sean, we're going to be talking today about average driving distances for category of golfers, handicap-wise and age-wise. And I saw this, I think it was in golf.com. And to tell you the truth, I was surprised. I don't want to give away too much of my bias here, but the average 20 to 30-year-old hits his driver, this is total distance, 238 yards. For 30 to 40-year-olds, 231, et cetera. All the way up to age 60 and above, 196, okay? Do those figures surprise you in any way? Do you think that they're normally higher from what you see at the Union League at Tarsdale or right on target?
Hope my members aren't listening. No, but they actually are higher than I thought. I get the impression a lot of times we have a TrackMan at the club, which tracks the golf ball's flight all the way until it ends. It's very accurate. And so many players are surprised with how short they are compared to what they think they are on certain clubs, especially the driver. It's a little humbling to get a club fitting in many ways. You see these guys on tour and their numbers are so elevated, they're hitting the ball so far. People watch PGA Tour on Sundays and they'll see 300, 400-yard drives. These are now athletes. These aren't recreational players anymore. These guys hit the gym and
Now your members
they max
are
it
really
out.
getting
Yeah,
up
but
now.
I'm not saying my members aren't athletes. I'm just saying
I hear you.
it's a different game with
Yeah,
that.
but Joe, you have some of the numbers there in front of you, right? I mean, and by handicap, like what's the average distance for somebody who's a 5 or less handicap?
5 or less, 250 yards.
Yeah.
From 5 to 10 handicap, 231.
231, 5 to 10.
Right. 10 to 19, 215. 19 to 28, 195. And over 28, 177.
But are you, like Sean, sort of, not surprised that the numbers are where they are there?
The only one that surprised me was the 5 and under at 250, 51 yards. Most of the guys I play with who are that low hit it farther than that.
That's what I would think, Okay, and I guess that's the one thing that the better handicap players, I thought, hit it longer than that, Sean. That's the only thing.
The big stat I took from the article was not even the distance, it was accuracy. So 74% of tour players can find a fairway as opposed to 30 to 40% of amateurs. Now, if you took that curved shot and straightened out that line, I think you'd add a little distance.
Gotcha.
So I feel like that plays to it.
Bobby, now you were a very good amateur player as a junior coming through the ranks.
Yep.
Your father was a golf pro for years at Sandy Run. You became a professional, played all around the world. You weren't playing with the kind of equipment they have now. But when you were an amateur, a 5 or less, what was your driving distance, do you think? Total.
I was fortunate because I hit the ball very long at all stages of my playing time. And I used to hit it close to 300 pretty much all the time.
Persimmon clubs and the face of what is now like a hybrid almost,
and a
right?
lopsided ball after one.
I mean, you had no margin of error, right?
None. And so it's a little bit unfair to ask what I was doing, but the average, if you were hitting at 250 to 260 in those days, you were long. Man, that was huge. That was a big jump. And they used to say that when I hit a good drive, a lot of people didn't drive that far to work, you know. So whether that was true or not,
Bada bing,
That's why we have this guy on the panel.
so I enjoyed the compliment and just kept walking.
Okay, now that's the driver, and I don't have any stats on other clubs in the bag, but you know, now you're seeing tour players, and you can't always compare yourself. You don't want to compare yourself to tour players. They're hitting 8 irons, 195, 200 yards, depending on the conditions. Are you seeing that type of distance increase among amateurs that you see? I mean, good amateurs, or with irons?
I think in the last 10 years, with the improvement in technology and the introduction of all these launch monitors we see, and the ability for the professional to really fit the player for the equipment they need, yes, I've seen an increase in distance. There's certain clubs, especially fairway woods and hybrids, that just go flat out further than they used to. Plus the golf ball is so much better than it used to be. Like Bob said, it's not lopsided after one hit. So I've seen an increase in that, and I think we're at the point where the technology is almost maxing itself out, unless the USGA allows and changes how the clubs can be made if they're a little hotter than they used to be. I think we're going to sort of see a plateau there.
That's what I was going to say. Speaking of how clubs are made and where they're hotter today, Joe, I mean, are we looking at a 7-iron from, say, 40 years ago at the same degree of loft as a 7-iron today?
We're not.
Okay.
They're all.
Which would
3,
contribute,
4.
therefore, to the distancing.
Yeah, I mean, like a pitching wedge used to be about 50 degrees. Now they're 45 degrees, and it goes right up through the, you know, I mean, you get up around no one who carries a 2-iron anymore. 3-iron, no one.
Who could hit a 2-iron?
That's right.
Guy up there, right?
That's right, yeah.
Yeah. So that, if there's any consolation, there is one case where equipment change, angle loft of the irons, don't feel bad if you know, you can't hit the 7-iron like with an older club, but somebody with a newer version is hitting it, right?
Sure.
And one thing you could say too about our era, so to speak, they used to, in the rule book, they'd have the maximum distance for a par 3, par 4, and par 5.
Right.
Don't anymore. They've erased that entire page and not made an issue of it. It just got to the point where that was obsolete.
Remember when a par 5 was 475 or
Exactly,
over?
yeah.
Now that's a stout par 4. You know, that's about it.
Yeah, in a U.S. Open layout, that would be maybe just a little above average for par 4.
I think Aaron Hill's the U.S. Open this year, 7,800 yards.
7,800.
There you go.
That's a half a tank of gas.
That's right.
Now, I don't know, Shep, that's no problem for Shep, but I mean, for us mortals, Sean,
Right.
that could be a problem. Gentlemen, thanks very much for helping us to tune up our game and compare our drives to what's average anymore. We'll be back with more Inside Golf in just a moment. The Valley Forge Casino Resort is the perfect venue for your next conference or event. With a $6 million guest room renovation, 39 separate meeting rooms, and over 100,000 square feet of flexible banquet and exhibition space, it's the largest full-service hotel and only full amenity gaming resort in suburban Philadelphia. Located conveniently 30 minutes from downtown Philadelphia and near all major highways, Valley Forge Casino Resort is in the middle of everything. Entertain your everything and visit vfcasino.com for more information.
I didn't know much about golf before the first tee. My best part about putting is getting it in that hole. The first year my driving would keep going off to the sides, and then now I keep it nice and straight.
I thought like getting that small ball in such a small target, I thought that was pretty awesome.
My game's pretty good, it's improved.
The first tee of Greater Philadelphia, where golf is more than a game.
Well, we're back to wrap up our show here at Lulu Country Club as the work continues, the excavation work, getting ready for that brand new clubhouse. And John Rusk, let's talk a little bit. People maybe look at the show and say, you know what, I don't know that much about, where can they get some more info on Lulu?
Hey, you can give us a call or you can look us up on the webpage at lulucc.com. Like us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. That's where all the information comes from nowadays.
All the social media stuff. And once again, the time frame. Best case scenario for the new building to be ready to go.
New Year's Eve party.
New Year's Eve 2018, huh? That's great. John, thanks again.
You got it.
Always a pleasure. We look forward to being back here with John, maybe with some champagne and balloons. Whether it's New Year's Eve or not, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of champagne and balloons at the new Lulu. I'm Harry Donahue. Remember, no matter how bad it's going for you out there, don't pick up. And we'll see you next time right here on Inside Golf. Inside Golf, now celebrating its 20th season, is presented by Destination Montco Golf. 54 courses, 300,000 yards. Check them out at montcogolf.com. By the First Tee of Philadelphia. The First Tee helps young men and women become better golfers, but most important, better people. Get involved. Visit thefirsttphiladelphia.org. By the Golf Association of Philadelphia, GAP, celebrating amateur golf since 1897. By Jersey Man Magazine, it's a Jersey way of life. And by Philly Man Magazine, bringing it to Broad Street. And by Inside Golf's partner since 1998, the Philadelphia Section PGA. Experts in the game and business of golf. Take time to thank your local PGA golf professional.